Pokemon Legends ZA has finally launched officially worldwide, and here I am giving early game tips. I'm gonna break up the tips into 3 categories: exploration, Pokemon, and battles. For your sanity, please just spend the first 2.5 hours of the game doing the story. The admission fee to go on all the rides of Legends ZA is spending 2.5 hours in tutorial land.
One giant line for admission.
You'll know you're done with the tutorial once you finish the quest with Emma's 3 side quest requests. Exploration. Not only is it good to break giant boulders or mega rocks, they actually give you experience. On top of that, you can also earn research points for Mabel's research quests. For the Mega Shards, be sure to grab as many as you can so you can buy Mega Stones, because Mega Stones are not cheap. Speaking of Mega Stones, you can buy a few useful ones at the Stone Emporium right here. You can do this fairly early on after you start your journey. These are expensive and won't be very useful to you just yet, but it's still handy to know since this can better inform which Pokemon you may want to consider adding to your team in the early game. As for the ones you get by exchanging the Mega Shards, you'll only get these by progressing further into the story, around the time you are challenging the trainer for rank V. Rock Smash isn't the only move you can use to break rocks. Any fighting type move that can deal damage will also do the trick. For these large plants, naturally you want to use a fire attack to get rid of them. For these giant sludge piles, use water or psychic attack moves to clear these out. Spiderweb on rooftops can turn to paths by using any attack move that can deal damage. Pokeballs and shinies on the ground respawn very often, like in Scarlet, Violet, and Arceus. I strongly recommend collecting these items, even if it's not particularly useful to you, because you can still sell them for cash. Unfortunately, shops are just menus again. This is an early game tip because I'm trying to get you to process your disappointment now, so you have time to process it and move on and get back to having fun. You're welcome. But you can go into restaurants, so it's not all bad. Buy lots of Pokeballs and catch everything, multiple Pokemon for research points. Trust me, you're gonna be doing this a lot, so may as well get ahead of the curve. Have you been wondering how to tell time in the game? Your minimap also functions as a clock, letting you know how much time you have left in the day or night cycle. Don't stress too much about the day and night cycles, because you can use benches to change time. They are all over Lumiose City, or you can just fly to any Pokemon Center and you can find one just outside. Unlike the other mainline games, when a Pokemon is ready to evolve, you do this from the main menu when you see the arrow next to the Pokemon's portrait. Wild Zones have some useful information just outside of them. I definitely recommend taking a look before entering to make sure your Pokemon are strong enough to handle what's inside. If you're having a hard time finding a missing Pokemon to complete the Pokemon Zone's collections, keep in mind that some Pokemon may be rare spawns and others may only appear during either the night or day cycle. Another tip for completing the Pokemon Zone collection is that catching the missing Pokemon outside of the specific wild area actually counts towards completing that particular zone. So there really is no need to force yourself to stay in the zone until you catch all available Pokemon. Pausing to do side missions is usually worth it. You will be able to obtain rare Pokemon, money, useful items, or even learn other useful tips. Mints shops. If you get smited by the RNG gods and your Pokemon have unfavorable natures, don't worry. This unmarked area near Looker's Bureau actually has stands with NPCs selling various mints and berries. I'll use this opportunity to tell you that no, there is no breeding in this game, so you will definitely want to utilize these mints. Keep in mind that they are not cheap at a whopping 20,000 Pokedollars. I'm sure you've been seeing the scaffolding puzzles everywhere. These are all over Lumiose City and are definitely worth doing to collect those colorful screws, which are the items you see with the purple glow. If you are having trouble with these puzzles, just know that you can actually do a dash and roll technique to reach these colorful screws. You can do most of them, but there is a traversal ability that you will unlock around like 10 hours, 9-10 hours into the game, so if you can't do the puzzle, I just suggest moving on and just don't bang your head over it. Go to the Racine Construction Center and there's an NPC just outside that lets you exchange these screws for Canary plush. You are given a red Canary plush for free, but the rest you get by having to exchange these colorful screws, and you also use these screws to level them up to enhance their effects. You will definitely want to get these as they are quite useful. It will cost 3 colorful screws to get your first plush, 5 to get it to level 2, and then 8 to max it out at level 3. You will need around 77 colorful screws in total to max out all of their effects. Moving on to Pokemon. Keep an eye on the arrows appearing next to the wild Pokemon to indicate the catch rate. As usual, lowering their HP and inflicting a status condition improves your odds to catch it. Don't forget to explore rooftops to find other wild Pokemon. If you have too many failed attempts at catching a Pokemon, you will see an X marker. This means that Pokemon is enraged and you will not be able to use Pokeballs on it temporarily. It will calm down after some time and you can try again. You can bring a Pokemon's health down to 0 and you will have a few seconds to catch it, but you will only get a single attempt before it will disappear into the ether. A pro tip here is if you do a hard save in this moment, if you fail to catch the Pokemon, you can reboot your game and it'll bring you right back to when the Pokemon was still in the unconscious condition. Attack effectiveness. Be sure to keep an eye on the symbols where you see your attack options. A triangle means the attack will be not very effective, circle means that the attack is neutral, and a circle with a dot inside means it will be super effective. If you don't see an icon, then this move doesn't deal any damage and only does an effect. And finally, if you see an X, then this attack will do absolutely nothing against the target because the target Pokemon is immune. Don't forget that until February 2026, you can claim a mystery gift Ralts with the Gardevoir site. If you're unhappy with the nature, you can go to the Mint Shop. I recommend the Modest Mint. Pokemon Battles. Auto Heal is your friend. If you have been picking up all the many sparkly items and Pokeballs across Lumio City, you will have plenty of potions and status healing items to make your life a lot easier. Did you know that you can use items during combat? Make sure you aren't holding ZL, bring up your main menu with the X button, and you can use items from your satchel. Keep in mind there will be a 10-second cooldown before you can use items again. With regards to your trainer's health, it's represented by the brown and red markings on the outer edge of the screen. Is that blood?
My God, I'm a tomato!
You will black out once you take too many hits. If you go without taking any hits, you will gradually restore your trainer's health. Don't worry though, if you get knocked out, you don't lose any money or anything. You just come to the nearest Pokemon Center and get scolded by Nurse Joy. ZA Royale. You will find these challenge tickets scattered across the ground. You can hold up to 3 of these challenge tickets at a time. The more of them you fulfill, the fewer battles you'll need to do to get your challenger ticket, plus you get extra cash. These challenge tickets range from things like using specific attack types to sneaking up on trainers and one-shotting their Pokemon. I really like this mechanic as it adds an extra layer of challenge to the battles, which is totally optional but feels fulfilling when you complete them. At the end of the night cycle, you will earn prize money based on how many medals and trainers you've defeated. Also, you can continue to fight trainers even after you got your challenger ticket if you want to make some extra cash. Do not forget to change your Pokemon's moves periodically, especially before boss battles. Aside from the status moves we all know, love, and oftentimes hate, watch out for moves like Infestation, which will prevent you from switching your active Pokemon from some time, as well as Toxic Spikes and other environmental hazard moves. Something to consider when choosing your moves is that close range attacks have a shorter cooldown, and long range attacks have longer cooldowns. I would recommend you try and mix it up so that way you are better suited for tougher battles. And those are all my early game tips. I hope you found something useful. If you did, please leave a comment, a like, a subscription if you were feeling generous. And now that this is over, I cannot wait to go back and play the game. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.